Ever thought slashing prices could boost your business? Or think again. Dive into the psychological maze where discounts do more harm than good, diminishing not just your profits but also your perceived value. Let's unravel the price trap together. Often there's a business advice that you should do discounts. Discounts are a great way to boost revenue. But the problem that nobody tells you about is kind of like taking a drug. It will help you in the short run, but it can get you addicted in the long run. Now, in business, what addiction actually means is there's two ways. One is that you have to have more and more discounts to get the same level of revenue. The second, the clients, the buyers will try to wait out the discounts and wait for discount offers. So have you ever bought something at a discount shop and just when you bought it, there was no discount offer? And then when you came home or 2 days later, there was this huge discount offer about 20% or 15% or even 5%. And you felt kind of cheated. That's what the diminishing return of discounting strategy is. Either you're doing the always discounting, so like a discount shop, or you're not doing the discounts at all unless somebody actually arm twists you. Why is the discount strategy bad? The discount strategy is bad two ways. First, let's look at the basics. What you are providing is providing value to the customer, to the buyer. So he perceives the value compared to the price. So what rookie mistake usually the providers do is they lower the price in order to magnify the value. But you should consider that the value stays the same. And by doing the reduction in price, so the first thought of the customer is, I gain the same value for less money. But the problem is that the second thought appears in the customer's mind right away. And that is, if I didn't ask anything, if I didn't say anything, I would have been charged the same thing, so the original price. So it's kind of a scam. Because I did this, I had the lower price, but if I didn't, I would be charged a normal price, which is, in my views, now, from my point of view, unfair because now I got the discounted price. So it kind of puts you in this gray area of you being a little bit scammy, a little bit trying to overcharge the customer. And you don't want to be in that spot because even though you're trying to give a favor to the customer, even though you're trying to just be nice and provide more value, but actually signaling that you could provide this service for less. So you don't want to be in this gray spot. I would say it's even a black spot. So don't go there. When you quote a price, stick to it. Unless you're selling a physical product, so like a pencil, and needs to be a quoted price, never give a price unless you've seen what the service needs to be rendered. So you need to see and evaluate what the scope of the service actually is. So never quote a price over the telephone and never provide a discount, because why would you provide a discount if you have calculated how much would that cost you to provide the value and how long it will take you and what material it will take you? The customer doesn't know that, and he doesn't need to know, and he doesn't want to know. He just needs the value to be provided. He's just weighing whether the price and the value are correlated in his eyes, in his subjective eyes. So don't discount the price, never. Even if you made an error in calculation and you made an error in terms that you overpriced something, never discount, because you will signal that you have tried to overprice the client and you are scamming. You don't want the feeling that the customer feels that you tried to scam him. So stick with a higher price. What you should do if you made a mistake in overpriced a service and the client takes it, you should provide more value. You should overdo the value. You should provide the bonus value. So that's how you fix it. If you had made an error in terms of you quoted a lower price, you should try to stick to that price also. But you should also notify the client and say, look, I made a mistake in calculation. I quoted you a lower price that I should have. I'm actually doing lower profit or no profit. I'm actually doing loss. But because I want to be fair to you, I'm going to provide this service. I just wanted to tell you, not because I wanted you to feel bad about it. I just wanted you, if you ever tell somebody that you get this price for this value, that you should know that this is not a normal quote. I made an error, but I'm going to stick to it because I'm a man of my word. What will mostly happen is that this buyer will say, no, I want to be charged fairly. What you should say, no, I'm going to stick to it. Or if you want to pay me when all the work is done, fair amount or a bonus, we're going to talk later. Now I'm going to do this, what I promised to do, and we're going to talk about it. Try to stick to your word, because that's more valuable than the short-term profit. And even if you're overpriced, try to deliver more value. Try to deliver an initial warranty, a better service, try to think how to will over-deliver on your value. That's also a great way if you sell a high-ticket item. Try to deliver more value than usually. It's also a great way to distinguish yourself from the competitors. If you both charge the same, try to deliver more value to the customer for the same price. It's a really, really great strategy, and it will benefit you in the long run, in the short run, and even in the midterm. So that's it all for me. Never discount this from the service provider. If you're selling, of course, a physical product, quote, you need to set a fixed price. But the service, never discount and never quote a price over before you've seen what needs to be done, because that's always a trick. From my point of view, from my experience, I'll tell you a story. Once a client called and he said, I need a simple solution. He explained what the problem was in 5 words. I told him a quote, $300 to $500. He said, oh, that's very interesting. And I said, what do you mean that's very interesting? This was kind of intrigued tone of voice. My service provider charged me $6,000. And I had this guy then on the phone for half an hour trying to explain that obviously he misinformed me what the simple task was, and he wasn't having it. He was explaining that was unfair to be charged $6,000 because I would charge $500. In all fairness, I would probably have charged $6,000 too, because based on my conversation with him, I established 2 things: that the case was not simple, and second, that the client was very, very hard to work with. That he probably needed real adjustments, new revisions, and so on and so on. And that would mean lots of more time, and time equals money. And that would mean that from $600, $300 to $500, $6,000, there probably was something on it. But he wasn't having it. In his mind, it was a simple solution. So why I'm telling you this? Never quote a price for a service over the telephone, because you're not going to have all the facts. You're not going to even have the 75% of the facts. You're going to have 0. And it's just a telephone for the buyer, the prospective buyer. You need to have all the facts before you give an honest and reliable quote. That's it all for me, and hope you liked it.